Chairman. Chair Khan, thank you for appearing before this panel today. Congressional oversight of the FTC is an important part of the American political process. Small and medium-sized businesses are the backbone in rural communities throughout America, including Florida's 2nd Congressional District. These include regional and local grocery stores and convenience stores, which are typically the only source of essential groceries and other consumer goods in many small towns in my district. Last year, as our nation faced broken supply chains and rising prices, I sent a letter to the FTC asking the Commission to use its existing authority to study conduct that could violate laws under its purview. My primary concern is when rural stores are taken advantage of in such unstable times. Many towns and small rural communities have become food deserts after their local grocery stores went out of business. In addition, many of these businesses are family-owned and provide the only viable option for individuals who don't have access to adequate transportation to travel to larger chain stores, which may be hours away. The independent, small, and medium-sized grocers are telling me that big box stores are forcing them out of business. So Chair Khan, Section 6B of the FTC Act empowers the FTC to require companies to respond to questions about business practices. Where are you currently in the 6B process on independent grocers and food supply chains? And have you formally inquired about monopolistic practices harming independent and regional grocers?
Thanks for that question, Congressman. I couldn't agree more that these are especially troubling concerns that we're hearing from independent retailers, especially independent grocers. One 6B that we launched early in my tenure was to understand whether the supply chain disruptions that we had seen were being exacerbated by asymmetries of power that we may see between the small independent stores and the big chain stores.
So my question was, have you actually formally started that 6B process for inquiry?
Yes, we have.
Excellent, excellent. So last Congress, the then-ranking members Rogers and Bilirakis sent a letter to Secretary of Commerce Raimondo. We mentioned that earlier today, requesting that the Secretary work with stakeholders across the federal government to prevent supply chain disruptions throughout America, especially in rural areas. And have you been working with the Department of Commerce on that particular effort?
I'm not sure if we're working with them on this specific issue, but generally we try to take a whole of government approach to these issues in general.
All right, then. So I'd like to recognize and actually commend the Commission's bipartisan May 2021 report called Nix the Fix. It was an FTC report to Congress regarding restrictions on repairs on various products. The vote was 4-0 on that ruling in 2021. This congressionally directed report highlighted the unsustainable rising cost of vehicle maintenance and repair, and it prompted the need for a bill, my bill, H.R. 906, the Repair Act, which seeks to restore consumer choice and competition in vehicle repair sector. The Nixing the Fix report highlights the important ways in which bipartisanship at the FTC can result in positive legislative actions afterwards. So after all, the Congress did create the FTC, and we're glad that upon passage of that bill, vehicle owners will be able to repair their own property, and repair shops can continue operating without fear of being put out of business. Unfortunately, bipartisanship does not seem to be the order of the day currently at the FTC. Ms. Khan, I find it striking that the FTC Commission or the Commissioner Christine Wilson resigned in protest of your partisan conduct as chair. Chairman Bilirakis, I'd like to submit this February 14, 2023 Wall Street Journal article, Why I Am Resigning as an FTC Commissioner, for record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you very much. Chair Khan, Commissioner Wilson's scathing review of your agency cited first your violation of due process, given your failure to recuse yourself from a Meta acquisition case despite clear legal precedent requiring you to do so. Second, your colleagues and staff's excessive redactions to her written objections and dissent in your ruling in order to protect you. And third, that a staggering 49%, less than half of the FTC employees recently polled, believe that senior FTC agency officials maintain high standards of honesty and integrity. For comparison, in 2020, just prior to your appointment, 87% thought FTC officials had high honesty and integrity standards. Do you have an answer to that question, Chair Khan?
Thanks, Congressman. I'll just say I'm incredibly proud of the FTC staff who day after day are on the front lines of protecting Americans from unlawful business practices. There's no doubt that early in my tenure, there were things we could have done better or differently. But since then, we've been taking these survey results seriously and taking steps to make sure we're fully understanding what was the source of these declines and identifying what changes we can put in place.
My time is expired, and I yield back to the chair, and I'll submit the remainder of my questions for.
Gentleman yields back.